Hello all. Here I Komal Sharma welcomes you all upon our educational hub Gargi classes. Here I am going to couple up the British drama part 1, which is my earlier video, to this proceeding of British drama part 2. So here I am heading towards the second most important comedy of the era, which is Gammer Gurton's Sniddle, and the first comedy of era was the Ralph Roister Doister, about which I have distributed enough points in my earlier videos. Now the second one comedy is Gammer Gurton's Sniddle, which is all performed between 1552 to 1563. All right, so this particular play or comedy is considered to be better comedy, or rather farce. All right, so farce is a dramatic genre about which I have discussed in my early video, and farce is a kind of comic dramatic work in which buffoonery is used. Buffoonery is a ridiculous behavior by the characters who performed over the drama in the drama and who make the people laugh upon. All right. So Gammer Gurton's Niddle is an anonymous writing of that era. The writer is not known. So here the another earliest comedy this is. All right. It is a farce of rustic English life, farce about which I have given few points. So this is a farce of rustic English life, rural English life. Gammer Gurton is a widow into this play. Gammer Gurton is a widow into this play who lives in a tiny rural Elizabethan English village. She is the proud possessor of a needle, which means she possesses a needle upon which she has so much proud, but later on she loses that particular possession. That needle she loses after. It is supposed that the needle has been stolen by the neighbor. So it was supposed by that particular lady or the widow that the thief of that needle is her neighbor only. The search of that follows leads to a noisy quarrel, and the whole village is in an uproar until the damsman Hodge, Gammer's servant, screams and the needle is found sticking in his pants. So here what happens is that Gammer Gurton loses her needle, which is all supposed to have been stolen by her neighbor only, who lives next to her, and the search that follows leads to a noisy quarrel among the villagers is in an uproar until the damsman Hodge is another character. Hodge is the servant of Gammer Gurton, her own servant. He screams at the end of the play, and he finds the needle sticking in his own pants. So here you would get to know that what kind of comedy this is. Relates to a rural English life. Farce this is, where the people making ridiculous fun to laugh over, and the lady widow Gammer Gurton was become very upset over the losing of her needle, upon which she has so much proud earlier by the possessing of needle only, and later while she loses it creates a chaos among the people of the village. So this was all about our Gammer Gurton's Needle, another comedy. So these are the two comedies which are historically didn't have its own existence or importance at all. It's a kind. These both are kind of precursor of the later English comedies only, and these do not contribute much to the progress of the drama. These two comedies only separate the comic element from the serious note. All right, so these both are our comedy of the earliest English drama, which are Ralph Doister and Gammer Gurton's Needle. All right, now we are moving ahead towards the first tragedy of Elizabethan era in English drama, that is Gorboduc. The tragedy of Gorboduc, also titled Ferrex and Porrex. The Gorboduc is also titled as the tragedy of Ferrex and the Porrex. All right. So a play written by Thomas Norton and Thomas Sackville. So there are two writers of this particular tragedy that takes as its subject Gorboduc, a mythical king of ancient Britain. So the particular or the protagonist of the play is none other than the mythical character of ancient Britain. This particular play was first performed in 1561. It is the earliest English tragic play in blank verse. So, this was the first play to be written in blank verse. Alright, now we are moving ahead with another few points. Norton and Sackville's play is derived from the Geoffrey of Monmouth's Historia Regum Britannia, which was written by Historia Regum Britannia is written by Geoffrey of Monmouth in 1135 and 1138 era. History of Kings of Britain, this is the English name of Historia Regum Britannia, which relates the dispute between Gorboduc's two sons, Ferrex and Porrex, over who would succeed him as a king. So basically, the main theme of this particular play, Gorboduc, is taken from Geoffrey of Monmouth's particular work, or the well-renowned work Historia Regum Britannia, which is known in English History of King of Britain. And this is a dispute between the Gorboduc, the king of Britain, ancient king of Britain, and his two sons, that who would succeed him as a king. So this is a tragedy written by Thomas Norton and Thomas Sackville. So basically, now we are moving towards the next point of the particular drama. So here there is a chorus in the play who explains the theme of the play. As I already informed you about this particular chorus forte, chorus is a troupe of 4 or 2 groups of musicians who performed over the stage and who narrates the story in front of audience in lyric. Alright, so there's a chorus on the stage who explains the theme of the play. There's very little action on the stage. That means this is what we call the more closet than the dramatized version of the play. And all action takes place off the stage and is simply reported. So this particular drama is inspired in writing as a Senecan drama in which the stories or the tragedies are just reported over the stage instead of showing the bloodshed over the stage. Alright, so Gorboduc is depicted as a good ruler. Now we are moving towards the main plot over here. Gorboduc is depicted as a good ruler who gives his kingdom away during his lifetime to his sons. So basically, Gorboduc, the king of Britain, has divided his property or the kingdom between his two sons, Ferrex and Porrex. Now, what they will do with that property? The sons quarrel over the property. Porrex and Ferrex. Now the sons quarrel over the property, and Porrex, the younger, kills the Ferrex. So Ferrex is the elder son of King Gorboduc, who was killed by his younger son Porrex. Now next, Gorboduc's queen Videna avenges the death of her more beloved older son by murdering Porrex. So here what happened is, Porrex, the younger son of Gorboduc, kills his elder son Ferrex. Later on, Gorboduc's queen kills Porrex, the younger son, because he murders her more beloved son Ferrex into this drama. And Gorboduc and his queen finally in turn murdered by their horrified former subjects. So there's all the bloodshed shown into this particular drama where the two sons are killed, the king and queen are killed, the whole characters who played the more important role into this particular drama, these all are killed over the drama, and these are not shown, the bloodshed are not shown over the stage. Only the chorus is there who reported each scene in front of audience in a very lyrical or in blank verse. All right. So here is a bit another information. The oratorial manner of Senecan tragedy did not suit the national genius and was rejected in favor of spectacular action. But the blank verse was adopted as the most suitable meter for the drama. So there are two things. The Senecan tragedies did not suit the national genius, and the Senecan tragedy was rejected in favor of spectacular action. That means the audience demands each action has to be shown over the stage. So this particular form of Senecan tragedy, the reporting tragedy over the in the drama, is rejected by them, and but one thing was adopted by later dramatists was that of a blank verse. The dramas are further also written in a blank verse too. Later on, while we are moving ahead, we will get to know more specified things of that particular era. It took 25 years before effective use of blank verse. So this took 25 years till till the dramatists started using this particular form blank verse into their particular dramas. So it was the first tragedy in English, Gorboduc, the tragedy of Ferrex and Porrex, which was written in blank verse, and it took completely 25 years before effective use of blank verse. It was a time of experiment. These 25 years was a time of experiments only, and the plays were mixture of two or more kinds. So there the dramas or the dramatists started writing in the mixtures of themes. They starts writing with two and more than two themes. All right. So they were like the dramas were like written in the themes over comedy, tragedy, farce, the two or more than two, and they're the mixture of classical, morality, romance and many more. So there were the mixtures of dramas which are dramatized by the dramas over there, dramatized by the dramatist in that particular era in the 25 year span. These transitional play in Sainsbury phrase this twilight period. So that was the period of twilight where there was neither the full light nor the dull one, but there's just a twilight which is just seen by the audience over there. Of English drama have no poetic or dramatic merit and are therefore of little practical importance. So these 25 years after the producing of Gorboduc and till 25 years, that was the period of practical importance only. And it was during this period of confusion, moreover, that the National Theatre was born. Between these years of confusion, there arose the theatre, National Theatre. So the first theatre simply called the theatre, which was built in 1576. So this was all about the second one comedy, the Gammer Gurton Sniddle, and the first tragedy, the Senecan tragedy by Thomas Norton and Thomas Sackville, Gorboduc or the Ferrex and Porrex. All right then. So these two dramas, the Gammer Gurton Sniddle, the second comedy, and Gorboduc, the first tragedy of Senecan tragedy of English drama, is all enough for today. So thank you so much for watching this video, and do subscribe, share as much as possible. Do like if you think the information is worthiest for you all, and press the bell icon to get the updation of our upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching this video.